So my name is Tim Swanson. I'm teaching the fire building class here at the Boston Outdoor School. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty fun. We're going to be doing a fire challenge right at the beginning of the class. I'm not going to teach anybody anything. And just to see where everyone's at, I'm going to have everyone do a challenge where they have to burn a string that's 2 feet off the ground. People have a one-match fire, so they have to light the match and start and see what happens after they build their fire. And if they burn the string, great. If they don't, great. We're all going to learn. So it's going to be a contest, but you know, it's really no winners or losers as long as we're all learning. So what everyone's going to go home with is they're going to learn how to build a fire, many different fires actually. So like a teepee fire, a log cabin fire, self-tending fire. We're going to learn matches. We're going to learn lighters. Even I brought some lighters just to show people how to, work with those, and just because they're great to just carry around. We're going to do a lot of the bow drill stuff. We're going to be doing some hand drill. I brought my hand drill sets, flint and steel, the magnesium strikers, so a whole bunch of different things. A magnifying glass. So whatever people kind of see on the table, I'll let them just grab it and see what they can do with it. This is a great camp. I'm all about it. We have there's actually a fox den right over there. So that was cool. I spooked that up last class, and then I was talking to David Brown, and he said the den was down there, so that was cool. And then there's the water over here, so I love it. It's good, and I like that there's an indoor place and that we can use the outdoors, because sometimes people come in and they're just introduced to this stuff, and we just want to make it comfortable for them. So we're going to do teams, and your goal is to burn the string. So don't take the match and put it under the string. I burnt the string, okay? So you're gonna start a fire under there, and we're gonna put them out, so don't start an inferno. Just start one that can get going and burn the string, and then as soon as that happens, we'll put it out. And I was gonna do whoever gets the string burnt first wins, but let's just have every team burn the string. I think that'll be good. All right, go ahead. So what I would say for you guys, my tip to you guys is way more wood. Because like I said, fire needs wood, right? So what I do is actually, even before I start the fire, I build my fire, wood pile, right, for the night or something. So I'll gather a whole bunch, and then I'll go gather like 10 times more than I think I need, because fire burns through wood really quick.
All right, get your fingers out of there.
No, sacrifice the fingers.
Fingers are good.
You got some of those leaves down there.
And I wouldn't even go, in this challenge, I wouldn't even go for sticks like this. This is kind of like after you already get your fire started. So what I would do is find little, even if you can find branches thinner than this. Okay. Even. So if you look at all the trees with needles on them right now, if you look on the lower branches, they're gonna have branches that hang off and that are dead, but still on the tree. Those are nice. There's a little rhyme, high and dry. You always want to follow that. You should get that. Everyone should get that tattooed or something on their body, because high and dry. High and dry. Maybe that would be a different reference for something else. Maybe. But, now that I say it out loud, so that's what you're looking for, is those high and dry dead branches, right? If you look at a hardwood tree, the branches don't have leaves, but they're probably still alive. They just the leaves haven't come up yet. But the evergreens, if they don't have branches, they're going to be dead.
I never learned too much from getting it right the first time.
Nope. This is why I like people to start, just because then we learn, right? We all have fire starting experience now, right? Maybe in the beginning of class you could say, oh, I haven't started fires in the woods. Now you can say that. So why don't we say this? Let's say 5 minutes. I don't want to waste everyone's educational time. I'm sure we're all learning, but I want to be able to show you. I'm excited to show you guys a whole bunch of different stuff. So let's do 5 more minutes. Try to get your fires. Try to just get that last push, and just collect that material.
Maybe we call it the one match from now.
One match from now fire.
Everyone gets one match.
Well, forget about everything that you've...
Forget about everything that happened in the past. Starting from now, it's a one match fire.
Oh, all right. We got smoke. We got flames. At the end of class, you guys will learn, how they say where there's smoke, there's flame? You guys will learn that is the most false statement anyone's ever made. So this is kind of what I call the organized mess, right? I don't necessarily need to line things up, like a teepee fire, but it's in the shape of a teepee. So you guys get the point. You just whittle that down. You can get a circle. I've a triangle into a circle, or a square into a circle. What?
I could watch meditation.
Yeah.
Like meditation.
All right, well, yeah, I'll finish the thing then. Now everyone breathe in. It's gonna look like that, like the burnt end, which is the bottom, and then the top end, which is the handhold end. But both sides are gonna burn when you use wood, because you want it to burn a little bit. When you're starting out, you want it to burn a little divot into the handhold. So this is the exact wood that I used when I first had it. I had as a throwing stick in case I saw a squirrel, and I brought a saw, so I had this to dig some holes, right? So I dug some holes and found my root, and then I followed that. See, I put that there before the class so everyone knew, so I could find it easily. So then I found my root. This wouldn't work now, it only works when it's fresh and wet. So what I do, and I broke like 6 roots, so you gather a whole bunch, and then as you're doing your bow drill, you're making dust, you save that dust, and this was the root that I got the coal with. But it was a lot looser and more pliable when it was dry, but I like to bring this as a demonstration that's a great bow drill cord. Just take them out of the ground. Bow drill consists of 5 things. It has a tinder bundle, which I think is the most important part, because you can get your coal, but if your tinder bundle isn't good, you're not gonna get a fire. So that's why when they say there's smoke, there's fire, that's false. Because the bow drill makes a lot of smoke, and if you don't do a good job or don't do it long enough or don't have good materials, then you won't get a fire. So I like to just kind of mix a little birch bark in there, because when that gets flame, it tends to light a little bit easier than the cedar bark. So once I put that in there, I'll just extend it a little bit, and I'll just nest my coal right in there. I think of a coal as a baby, right? You need to give it the little baby food, the easily digestible things. Then you can start getting into like the more, I don't know, the little Cheerios on the table, and then you can get into like a cheeseburger. All right? It's kind of like fire in general, right? Little things at first, and then as it grows, it can take bigger things. Is anybody here left-handed? Okay, do the opposite of what I do. So just use a lighter. I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna hold my handhold in my left hand if I'm a righty, and I spin my spindle into the string, and we can make smartphones and rocket ships and go to space, but for some reason this is the hardest thing for people to do, is to get the spindle into the string. And I don't even touch my bow. I haven't even touched the wood of my bow yet. I'm just holding on to that, because sometimes people are trying to do this and then they're like, uh-oh, okay. So if you just hang on to your spindle and the string, I just put it between my fingers and then put it down. And I just drilled a little hole right there with my knife. I'm lagging into my hand and pushing down on my spindle. Not me pushing down with my arm. And I'm using the full length of that string.
Oh my God.
Okay? So, and I'm not even going that hard, I'm breathing and going easy and just burning that hole right in there. Actually, I can just move it out to the end, actually.
Still there. Yeah, right?
Yeah, you're getting it. Hey!
Okay, cool. Thanks for letting me do all your tender there.
That's awesome. Good job.
Oh.
Yeah.
Honestly, I find myself getting more and more frustrated with using the spindle more and more.
This is just like a little. Do I even have it on me right now? I don't even think I have it on me. Oh, I do have it on me. So I was just, when I when I go out in the woods, I always just bring something. There's always 3 things you should bring out in the woods with you, and that's a whistle, a knife, and a way to start fire. So even though I like doing bow drills and hand drills and stuff, I always have just a little. This is just one of those strikers. I always have that on me. So I just wear it, and there's all different things you could do. You see how there's like all this stuff out here? So fire tending is a really like, it's kind of a difficult thing. So let me just find a fire stick here. This is probably a little too short, but people just.
Kind of bitchy, right? Aren't I kind of bossy? Like not bossy.
Some people were actually like, it's fire tending, and I highly encourage you to just go out and in your backyard if you can and start a fire and just tend it, because that's actually like a whole, in the different types of building fire, and I'll show you that too. But what I do with fires is I always pick a central location, and that's usually where the coals are the hottest, okay? So things like this, I'd come and push them back, and always kind of keep that central location. So my central location is gonna be right here, okay? So, I remember that teepee shape that we were following with the one match fires. I always want to try to bring that back. Let's just keep it going fire, okay? And I always add one log at a time when I make fires. That's just, I'm sure if I put 2 logs on here, it'd be fine, but I just want to put 1 on and establish that that's on there and that's going to be okay. But so always just bring it in. I mean, I could just throw some on there and take them off too. So just remember like that teepee shape, right? So I want to bring it up. That metal's hot, so I don't want to touch that metal. So I want to keep that central location, right? Like that. And then the flames are going to come in. So what I meant by that is kind of like, don't do one of these. Okay. You know? So it's, I just put 1 on at a time, and anytime I cook with fire, I always make sure I have leather gloves. I don't have them with me today, but because the pots always get super hot, or if you have to, you can use a stick. I like the pots to have like a wire on top of them, so then you can hook them and bring them back, but they get hot. So this is kind of like not really stable, right? So what we want to do is we want to warp this fire. I would just use wood that's already in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these 2 logs as the place where I put my pot. So I'm going to bring this over to the side. Smoke is following me so bad today. Whew. And I'm going to make a pile of coals right in the middle, because coals are what cooks. The flame doesn't really, you could boil with flame, but if you have coals, that's how a better way to cook meat. You know, with this, if we were done with this, let's just dump a bunch of water on there and make sure, they say if you can touch it, it's out. So it should be cool. So dump a bunch and then mix it around and, you know, make sure that it's out. And then that's why I like to let fires die down, because then you don't have these big giant half-burnt logs out in the woods. I'm sure we've all came across this fire pit that's just all charcoal in the middle of the woods. It doesn't really decompose after it's charcoal. It, like, I don't know, it like petrifies or something like that, but it won't rot like usual wood does, just like raw wood. Yeah, but if no one else has any questions, that's pretty much it. I hope people learned a lot. Besides that, just stay in touch with the Boston Outdoor School and make sure that you have the email list or the Facebook, and I get the Instagram ads, so just follow Boston Outdoor School on Instagram. And
yeah, keep supporting us so we keep getting people like Tim to show up and teach us some cool skills.